First, I would like to extend my appreciation to the organizers in the masjid, and I would like to say thank you for your. No need for thank you, because your reward is due on Allah, with Allah, and with every step you make. One step is for forgiveness, and one step raises you up in your level in Jannah. So your reward is due with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the way to knowledge is the way to paradise. If one of you died on the way, Allah will let him complete his way to Jannah, because his way is for ilm. And ilm is very important, because Allah descends the ilm, and He descends also the fitan. And when people don't know ilm, they have no ilm, they don't know how to deal with the fitan. That makes the seeking ilm, knowledge, is obligatory, not optional as some people think. No. Why Allah revealed? He sent a book, He revealed, He set events with the Prophet ﷺ in two stages of his life, Mecca stage and Medina stage, and all of these things that happened with him are samples for us that we can deal with in our events. That's what makes knowledge obligatory for us. And one among the companions who deserved to be the first one and the next one after him, and that is Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, because he knows about the Prophet's dealing with the issues more than any other companion. To the extent that when the Prophet ﷺ was hinting something by saying, there is a servant of Allah upon whom Allah had given him the option whether to prefer this worldly rose of life or to choose what he has, then he had chosen what he has, what Allah has. That went normal. No one said anything, except Abu Bakr was seen crying and saying at the same time, we ransom you, O Allah, buy our property, buy our lives, buy our children. Companions were wondering, what's wrong with Abu Bakr? Why is he crying like this? The Prophet was talking about a man who was given a choice. Now, a man who is giving choice whether to die or to live, it's only for prophets. No one else was given choice. The prophets are giving the choice whether to die or not. And this is an evidence that they prefer the hereafter. Otherwise, if they prefer this worldly life, they'll be saying, no, just keep me until I complete my life here. So this is a presentation that shows the importance of knowledge. And nowadays, another thing which is very important, our enemies are supposed to be having enough capabilities to control the whole ummah and to get rid of the whole ummah. But despite the capabilities they have and the power they have and the advanced knowledge they have and everything they have, they are in need of those innovated cults. They need them. They support them. Okay? They need them. They welcome them. They give them money. Look at the Ahmadis, how rich they are. They are another Bill Gates. They are another big Bill Gates. Why is this? That explains what the Prophet said, ﷺ, that it seems that those understood the hadith, they know the hadith, in which some of you do not know. That the Prophet ﷺ asked Allah not to let the perish of this ummah be as on one go by its enemies. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala approved this for him. So they know that they cannot get rid of the ummah in one go. And they cannot do that. They need someone from inside to give them a hand. And that's what's going on. So therefore, it is important to seek knowledge. So when those people come and say, we're going to debate with you, We're going to show you that we are Ahl Sunnah, etc., etc. Be smooth. And you know how to be smooth? The more you have knowledge, you won't be nervous. If you don't have the knowledge, you'll be nervous, and he will be investing your nervousness. They'll be investing your nervousness. They'll be using it against you. So why we can't, in many cases I have realized this, and I have my experience, why we don't dare to confront them? We don't have the knowledge. We're business people. They're expert in their innovation. They're expert. They keep learning it, how to defend it, how to throw the doubts on you, to stop you. And you don't seek the knowledge. You don't dedicate yourself. That's very important. I have learned that in my experience of life. So nowadays, having the knowledge will be cooling you more, will be giving you the confidence more to speak. Otherwise, you don't have the confidence. So you'll be nervous. You can't answer. And you may be responsible by Allah the Day of Judgment. Why those people are dedicating themselves for lively reward, while you're supposed to be dedicating yourself for the hereafter's reward. That should be enough, inshallah. Let's get into the topic, Tawassul. The problem that sometimes we get the Arabic word, we don't know what it means, the real meaning of the word. So we keep rambling, arguing about a word, about an issue, titled as, for example, Tawassul or Bid'ah, but we did not verify its linguistic source. So what is Tawassul? In the books of language, or before the books of language, let's see what the Qur'an has regarding this word. How many times this word Waseela was repeated in the Qur'an? The word Waseela was repeated in the Qur'an twice, not more. As you see, I was going to bring a big screen, but I'm so sorry, we couldn't make it on the last moment. Okay, so you have here, make it like, because I want to see also there. Okay, you have this ayah, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله. By the way, اتقوا الله, is it obligatory or mustahab, nafila, to fear Allah? Is it advisable to fear Allah or obligatory? Okay, so what about the next one? Fear Allah and fear Allah is obligatory. Okay, so the next one must be obligatory because it's following the first command. Fear Allah is obligatory. What about the next one after it? وَابْتَغُوا إِلَيْهِ الْوَسِيلَةِ, and seek the wasila for him. Is this optional or obligatory? Sure, naturally, it's obligatory because it follows, it is added to what is obligatory. So it has the same ruling. اتقوا وابتغوا. Okay, so now we know that seeking the wasila is obligatory. The other ayah, قُلِ ادْعُوا الَّذِينَ زَعَمْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ فَلَا يَمْلِكُونَ كَشْفَ الضُّرِّ عَنكُمْ وَلَا تَحْوِيلًا. Did you understand the translation? Let me translate the first one first. O you who have believed, fear Allah and seek the means of nearness to Him, and strive in His cause that you may succeed. This is An-Ma'idah, verse 35. Okay, Waseela. Scholars said, look, not only Sunnah, even Sunnah and Shia, they all explain this ayah like this. تَقَرَّبُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ بِطَاعَتِهِ وَالْعَمَلِ بِمَا يُرْضِيهِ. What's the meaning of Waseela now? Seek to get close to Allah by obedience to Him. By obedience to Him. And doing, put one line or three lines if you want, under the word doing. وَالْعَمَلِ, and doing what pleases Him. because this is what drives you closer to Him. Who said that? At-Tabari, Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir said, this commentary, tafsir, had been agreed upon among all scholars. تقربوا إلى الله, seek to get closer to Allah, بطاعته, by being obedient to Him, والعمل بما يرضيه, and doing what pleases Him. So it contains what? Amal. The wasila is amal. Let's get back to the, let's go to the linguistic meaning. Yes, linguistic meaning. Where is the linguistic meaning? Yeah, that's it. Where is it? Where are you? Okay, see. قال في القاموس. قاموس is a book of language. وصل إلى الله تعالى توسيلا أي عمل عملا يتقرب به إليه. This is the linguistic meaning of the word wasala. This is the source of wasila. Wasala. This is the adverb or verb. Verb. Wasala. The verb. Wasala. Wasala إليه توسيلا. That means he did something that makes him closer to Him. So wasala is to do, not to sit down and depend on the righteousness of others. You're not righteous, but you use someone righteous to be the means between you and Allah. No. Neither linguistically can go, nor shari'i, it cannot go. How to say shari'i in English? Legitimately. Okay. In Al-Isbah al-Munir, وصل إلى الله توسيلا أي عمل عملا. They're all the same. توسل إلى ربه. Those are books of language. In the Arabic language, they're giving you the meaning, the linguistic meaning of the word wasala. Tawassul, Waseela. أي تقرب إلى الله بعمل. He got closer to Allah by an action, by a deed. Also in the book As-Sihah for Al-Jawhari, توسل إليه وسيلة أي تقرب إليه بعمل. The same thing. So you can see always they're talking about amal, to do. Let's get back now to the ayat. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's go up. Let's do the ayah. Okay, we're in the ayah now. So this is the first ayah in Surah Al-Ma'idah. Let's go to the second ayah. قُلِ ادْعُوا الَّذِينَ زَعَمْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. Say, call those whom you claim apart from Him. Call. What does this mean to you? So Allah is, in this ayah, it means you should call Allah. Allah is saying here, go ahead and call those you claim apart from Him. Go ahead. فَلَا يَمْلِكُونَ كَشْفَ الضُّرِّ عَنْكُمْ وَلَا تَحْوِيلًا. For they do not possess the ability for removal of adversity from you or for its transfer to someone else. They can neither take it away from you nor transfer it to someone else. Go ahead. You want to do it? Do it. You won't be able. Okay. So go ahead and call those people. Call them. What does this mean when you hear that? It's a challenge, divine challenge. You want to call them? Call them. They won't be doing anything to you. What does it mean? It means call me. Call Allah. Don't call anyone else. As in Surah Al-Jinn, ayah number 18. وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ فَلَا تَدْعُوا مَعَ اللَّهِ أَحَدًا. Don't call with Allah anyone. That's a divine command. The ayah did not finish. Let's continue the ayah. It's very beautiful. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ. Those, that means you are calling them. They are calling Allah themselves. That's what we say to Christians. When Christians say, oh Jesus, we say to them, your books say, Jesus used to be saying, oh God. So how do you say, oh Jesus? When Jesus himself was saying, "Oh God, help me." How can you call someone who used to be calling someone else? So that's what the ayah says also. Those whom you are calling them apart from Allah, they are themselves calling Allah. أولئك الذين يدعون يبتغون إلى ربهم الوسيلة. They are seeking the wasila to Allah. How? Who will be the closest, the nearer to Allah than the other? They are racing by action, good actions, righteous work to get closer. They are racing the righteousness. This is another kind of NASA, not NASA. What do you call it? Racing? Not NASA. NASCAR. This is another racing, not by car, by doing good. So you're asking them, you think that this is the wasila? Look at them. They are acting righteous work, they are working righteous work, racing in their righteousness. Who will be closer to Allah? Those are the two ayah about wasila. Does it tell you that the wasila is to ask someone, whether dead or alive? No. Remember, this ayah is in Surah Al-Isra, ayah number 56 and 57. Two ayah. One in Surah Al-Ma'idah, one in Surah Al-Isra are very important for you to understand the case. Do those people who understand it in other way, do they quote ayat from the Quran? They can't quote because those are the only two ayat about the word wasila, and it's for you because you understand it properly now, not for them. Here we come to the practicing of the Sahaba. At the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ, they used to be having famines, problems. Were they using wasila? Yes, wasila is very important. Now wait a minute, you said wasila is action. Yes, but also Allah allowed for us to come to a righteous person and say to him, okay, for example, the Prophet ﷺ, "O Rasulullah, I'm in trouble, ask Allah for me." Is that forbidden? No, it's not forbidden. But to believe that the Prophet ﷺ, after he died, he is Hadir Nazir, he is alive, present? No, can't be. You know why? The Sahaba used to be going to the Prophet to ask him. None of them was sitting in his house and saying, "Ya Rasulullah, I have a problem." None of them. Bring me one. Bring me one, and I'll say to you, "I'm sorry, I'm going to believe you." Bring me one. He was alive. And they were not speaking to him from far, from distant. If you open Surah Al-Hujurat, Allah was criticizing those who used to be standing out of the house of Rasulullah and shouting, "Ya Muhammad, ukhruj!" It's impolite. But also it's based on their understanding that the Prophet does not hear from far, like what people today, some people think. In Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 1008, 1007, it shows that people used to come to the Prophet ﷺ and say to him, "O Rasulullah, there's a famine. The cattle had died. The land had dried. So ask Allah for us." So the Prophet used to be what? Making dua. They were not saying, "Oh Allah, we ask you by the person of Rasulullah." No, they used to be going to the Prophet and ask him. Is that allowed? Yes. Is there any other example before the Prophet in the Quran? Yes. Where is it? In Surah Yusuf. When the brothers of Yusuf found out that, alas, they were exposed, they're in trouble, they said to their father, "Ya abana astaghfir lana dhunubana inna kunna khati'in." Oh, our father, seek Allah's forgiveness for our sins. We were wrongdoers. قال سوف أستغفر لكم ربي إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. He said, "I'll ask my Lord for you forgiveness. for Allah is all forgiving, all merciful. This is allowed? Yes. Where is the proof? Quran, and I have hadith. So coming to the Prophet, making steps to the Prophet to ask him, that translates a doctrine that you don't ask him from far. And they were in Medina. How much more if person is in China, the other one is in Turkestan, the other one in America, in the UK, and all people, Ya Rasulullah, and they believe that the Prophet is hearing them. Even if they're billions? Yes, they believe even if they're billions. They can hear them all? Yes. But I was asking someone, do you call the Prophet in your language in Urdu? They say yes. Does he understand Urdu? The Prophet used to be having translator. He ordered Zayd ibn Thabit to learn Hebrew, and he learned it in a week. So did the Prophet need a translator? Yes, that's what the Sunnah is. So how come you say I can speak to him in my language and in thousands of languages? He's ready. He's available always, no matter where you are. No matter at what time you called him. No matter what your tongue is. No problem. He's available. That's what makes the human being equal to God. This is not the quality of a human being. This is the quality of Allah. So, what happened now when the Prophet ﷺ died? They used to be going to him to ask him to make dua to Allah, which we said, as I mentioned to you, it is allowed. Where did you get this exemption? From the Quran and the Sunnah. Hadith number 1010 in Bukhari. We have this hadith. Oh Allah, we used to be doing this whenever we have a famine or a problem. We used to be asking you by your Prophet. And now we used to, and now we're asking you by his uncle. The uncle was not dead, was alive. So the question is, if this is allowed to be done, why Umar changed this from asking the Prophet to asking his uncle? What was the reason of that change? Is the death of the Prophet ﷺ. Is there a difference between death and life? Allah said it. وَمَا يَسْتَوِي الْأَحْيَاءُ وَلَا الْأَمْوَاتُ. The dead and the living ones are not equal, different. Look, if there is no difference, okay, then the Prophet will not be staying in the grave without getting out of the grave and leading the prayer in Medina. He's not doing it. And how dare Abu Bakr become the Imam while the Prophet should be the Imam? There is no difference between life and death. Oh, come on. And how dare people inherit the Prophet ﷺ? We know the Prophet cannot be inherited, but his property is for the Muslims, as he said, ﷺ. So there must be difference between death and life. You can't say they're the same. If it's the same, then why Umar radiallahu anhu was doing this? Oh Allah, whenever we had famine, we used to be asking you by your Prophet, and then you grant us water. And now we are seeking Tawassul by his uncle, so grant us water. In another narration, in Sahih Bukhari, Anas said, look, they used to be asking the Prophet, so he asked Allah for them to be granted water. But when was the time of Umar, when the famine happened at the time of Umar, Umar asked Allah by Al-Abbas. They used to. Some people say, Umar wanted to show that it is allowed to seek tawassul by someone who is less than the Prophet while the Prophet is better. It's only to teach them. Okay, But this is a possibility. That's your understanding. It's not, your understanding should not be an evidence against me. I used to say that to many people. Put your own understanding in your pocket. It's not a plea against me. It's not evidence against me. It's a possibility. Keep it with you. I don't need it. Give me evidence as I'm giving you evidence. This may be accepted if we find in another event that Umar was doing it, asking Allah by his Prophet after his death. But he never did it anymore. Not even once. Muawiyah radiallahu anhu, he used to be seeking also water by Al-Aswad ibn Yazid. He used to be well-known righteous man. Darda radiallahu anha, when Safwan came to her and she knew that he's traveling, she said, "Oh Safwan, I know that you're traveling. Ask Allah for us." For the Prophet ﷺ said, "Da'watul mar'il muslimi li akhihi bi dhahril ghaybi mustajaba." The supplication of the Muslim for his brother in the unseen, bi dhahril ghayb. Mustajaba is responded. عند رأسه ملك موكل. At his head there is an authorized angel. كلما دعا لأخيه بظهر الغيب. Whenever he supplicate in the unseen, behind his brother, ask Allah for him, there is a ready angel saying to him, Ameen, and you may be having the same. So she said to Safwan, ask Allah for us. There is hadith that the Prophet said to Umar, "Oh brother, make dua for me. Don't forget me from a good da'wah to Allah for me." But this is weak. It's not authentic. Now, those narrations are authentic. All what I narrated to you are authentic in Bukhari. Oh, okay. Let's get back now. Yeah. Okay, now we go to the... Yes. I have to do that for you because I love this. فَكَانَ الْمَشْرُوعُ مَا فَعَلُوهُ لَا مَا تَرَكُوهُ. What is legislated is what they did, not what they left. وَفَاعِلُ مَا تَرَكُوهُ سَالِكٌ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And the one who does what they left is seeking a way other than their way. It's very important. The one who does what they left is not following their way. Look at the ayah. وَمَنْ يُشَاقِقِ الرَّسُولَ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى وَنُصْلِهِ جَهَنَّمَ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. And whoever opposes the messenger after guidance had become clear to him and follows other than the way of the believers. Who are those believers Allah is talking about? Companions. نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى. Will give him what he has taken and drive him into hell, and evil it's as a destination. وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. What a bad consequence for him. And Allah said in another ayah, فَإِنْ آمَنُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ فَقَدْ اهْتَدَوْا. If they believed in what you, the companions, Allah is addressing the companions, if they believed in what you believe in, then they are guided. Have you heard about a book? It's called Then I Was Guided, for a person who converted to Shiaism. Then I Was Guided. I said, what a bad title. From the title, your book is wrong. Because you say, then I was guided, and you are slandering the companions. And Allah said in the Quran, if they believed in what you companions believe in, then they are guided. It's very clear. طيب. Let's get up. Yeah, we've got this. Okay. This is a very important point here now. Vital question and verification. What do you mean by the word tawassul? You know, sometimes those people of misguidance, they are hiding between ambiguity. So you have sometimes to verify. With the verification, you can control the issue. Without the verification, they'll keep dodging and playing games. Here, these are the two key questions. What do you mean by the word tawassul? To ask a person who is far away, living one, or the dead. We're not only saying that the dead, you should not be asking the dead. We also say those who are distant from you should not be asking. Not only the dead, but those who are away, unless they have, for example, walkie-talkie, or you can talk to them on Skype, new technology, it's okay. But to sit down like this and say, for example, you are on the upper floor and your wife is in the kitchen. My wife, give me food. But this is karama, your wife is a righteous woman. Can you do that? No. That's why Allah said, look what Allah said in this second ayah, call them. But those whom you're calling, they are taking for themselves the waseela, the means to get closer to Allah, the waseela. So, waseela is not to ask someone other than Allah, because Allah was challenging those, saying to them, go ahead, call them. They're not going to benefit you. Those whom you're calling them, they are taking the waseela. So Allah is telling you that waseela is not to call someone other than Allah. This is very important point. Very important point. One ayah that contains asking someone other than Allah, and Allah saying you shouldn't be doing it. Then Allah said to you, those you are calling them, they are taking the means to get closer to Allah. That means in action. This ayah is very important. Please don't forget it. By this you can finish them. And don't forget to speak calmly, kindly, softly. And I said to you before, the beginning, you can speak softly and kindly unless you have the knowledge. The knowledge will be controlling you cool. If you have no knowledge, you'll be hot. Why you'll be hot? Because you're nervous. You know that you are on the true way, but you can't explain it, you can't prove it because of the gap, because of the lack of knowledge. Okay, so what does it mean of tawassul? To ask someone? Well, Allah in this ayah of waseela is saying don't ask. Yes, He is saying ask, but what do you call that sarcastic way? That means go ahead, do it. It won't be benefiting you. Second, or to ask Allah by the person. What do you mean by tawassul? For example, to say, oh Allah, I ask you by this man. This is something that the companions did not do, because they were asking Allah by the supplication of the man, of Rasulullah, not by his person. But to do that, it has two problems. It's on the way to shirk. It is not shirk yet. It's on the way to shirk, because this used to be the way of the mushrikeen. They ask someone and they say, مَا نَعْبُدُهُمْ إِلَّا لِيُقَرِّبُونَا إِلَى اللَّهِ زُلْفَى. We're not worshipping them except only so that they drive us closer to Allah. Someone may argue against this and say, yeah, the ayah says we don't worship them, but because of this. But we don't worship. We are supplicating only. Oh yeah? Didn't the Prophet say, الدعاء هو Let me hear it from you. Ibadah. So we cannot change the formula based on your ignorance. You don't know that supplication is worship. Maybe those people before you, they knew that supplication is worship, and they're saying, yeah, we're not worshiping them except to drive us closer to Allah. You know what that means? That they are worshiping human beings. They don't believe that those whom they are asking, they are gods. No, they drive them to Allah closer. That's what they claim. So if we do that, that means we are imitating the same previous shirk. You have to be careful. So if you say, I ask Allah by the person of Rasulullah, we say this is not shirk, but this is bid'ah. Because the companions, that was not the way of the companions before. They were going to the Prophet and asking the Prophet to ask Allah for them. Then the Prophet was asking Allah. This is the permissible tawassul. Tawassul mashru'. But your way is different. So these two questions are important. Khalas, when you take the verification from them by these two questions, they have to give you one of the two answers. Either they are asking Allah by the person, or they're asking Allah by the supplication of the person. But how can you supplicate? How can you ask Allah by the supplication of the Prophet? Yeah, I believe that He hears me. And He hears billions at the same time? Yeah, by Allah's will. Did Allah allow you? Allah doesn't allow you to ask someone other than Him. How do you claim that Allah allowed the Prophet to hear you? He's saying to you, don't ask anyone other than Allah. And when people sometimes, when people have problem and they come and ask the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet sometimes used to be giving them option, either or. Like the woman who was having epilepsy, epilepsy woman. She said, "Oh Rasulullah, ask Allah for me, I have epilepsy." He said, either you be patient and Jannah is yours, or I ask Allah for you. Look at this woman, subhanallah. Black woman. She said, no, I prefer to be patient. But ask Allah for me. When I have this epilepsy, that none of my body will be shown. He didn't say, I give you option. No. In this, he asked Allah for her. Then Ibn Abbas, as he having his friend with him, when he see this woman, he said, you see that black woman there? He said, yeah. He said, she's one of the people of Jannah. She's one of the people of Jannah. So, if you say, Allah, I ask you by the person of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is bid'ah, but not shirk yet. It's on the way to shirk. If you say, Tawassul is to ask the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam while he's not available, this is shirk. Okay? If you say he is Hazir Nazir, he's available, ready always, for you only? No. For how many Muslims are there today? 1.5 billion, let's say. So he can hear 1.5 billion at the same time? Yes, bi'idhnillah. Allah did not allow one to become equal in his capacity and power like him. We will see if Allah allowed that. Look, Allah said, فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Do not make equals with Allah while you know it. You know what it means? Allah is telling you that when you ask someone, the dead, you know that you're wrong. Allahu Akbar. That's what Allah is saying. Okay. There's another ayah. وَإِذَا مَسَّ الْإِنسَانَ ضُرٌّ. If a man was touched by adversity, harm, دَعَى رَبَّهُ مُنِيبًا إِلَيْهِ. He asked Allah, he supplicated Allah, making his supplication sincere to Him. ثُمَّ إِذَا خَوَّلَهُ نِعْمَةً مِّنْهُ. Then when Allah grants him a favor from Himself, that means He saved him, نَسِيَ مَا كَانَ يَدْعُو إِلَيْهِ مِنْ قَبْلِ. He forgot what he used to be supplicating before. وَجَعَلَ لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا. That means he supplicated others. So supplicating others in the Qur'an, according to the Qur'an, is taking equals with Allah. I'm bringing ayat from the Qur'an. Very clear. And guess what? It is very important that you worship Allah by basira, by great awakeness. Some people, they're not awake when they worship Allah. قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِي أَدْعُو إِلَى اللَّهِ عَلَى بَصِيرَةٍ أَنَا وَمَنِ اتَّبَعَنِي. If you follow Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam carefully, in details, you'll be in basira. You'll be granted the basira. Otherwise, you'll be blind while you don't know. طيب. So that's the point. By supplication is Tawheed. By person is Shirk. Like here we have two important ayat in Surah Az-Zumar. فَاعْبُدِ اللَّهَ مُخْلِصًا لَهُ الدِّينَ. Can anyone translate it to me? Please help me. فَاعْبُدِ اللَّهَ. So worship Allah. مُخْلِصًا لَهُ الدِّينَ. Making your religion sincere to Him, right? Next surah, in Surah Ghafir. فَادْعُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. Translate now. Supplicate Allah, making your deen, religion, sincere to Him. Look at these ayah, compare them. One ayah is saying, worship Allah, making your religion sincere to Him. The next ayah, supplicate Allah, making your religion sincere to Him. Aren't they closed? Allah by that wants to show you that supplication is worship. In another ayah, you remember when Ibrahim said to his people, هَلْ يَسْمَعُونَكُمْ إِذْ تَدْعُونَ? Do they hear you when you call them? Then afterwards he said in the same surah, أَفَرَأَيْتُمْ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ? Do you see those whom you worship? Before he said, do they hear you when you supplicate them? Then he, after that, after 2 ayat, he said, do you see those whom you worship? He accused them that they are worshipping those whom they are supplicating. It's very clear. You have to read the Quran. When you read the Quran, you can verify the thing. In another ayah, وَأَعْتَزِلُكُمْ وَمَا. Who remembers the ayah? وَأَعْتَزِلُكُمْ وَمَا. تَعْبُدُونَ? Wrong. وَأَعْتَزِلُكُمْ وَمَا تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ وَأَدْعُوا رَبِّي. Isolate you with what you supplicate apart from Allah, but I supplicate Allah. Then after 2 ayat, فَلَمَّا اعْتَزَلَهُمْ وَمَا. Don't be afraid. Say something. يَعْبُدُونَ. Look at, subhanAllah. The first, I keep myself away from you and what you supplicate. Then after 2 ayat, then when he left them with what they worship. So what does this mean? Supplication is worship. In one ayah you can see both. قُلْ إِنِّي نُهِيتُ أَنْ أَعْبُدَ الَّذِينَ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Say, I am prohibited from worshipping the one whom you supplicate apart from Allah. In Surah Al-An'am. Khalas, we should not be arguing. So how Allah describes supplication as worship, then you call it Tawassul halal. Did you get it? Supplication, Allah is saying to you, supplicate me because supplication is worship. Then you call the supplication to someone other than Allah, that it is Tawassul to Allah. You see how the devil traps people while they don't realize it? Like, can you read this ayah? إِنِّي وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّذِي فَطَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ حَنِيفًا وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. Indeed, I have turned my face, myself, toward He who created the heavens and the earth, and I am not of those who associate others in worship with Allah. Beautiful ayah. Where is that? Oh. Okay. Let's go to the next one. This ayah is well known. وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّذِي فَطَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. I have turned myself to the direction, to the one who had created as-samawat wal-ard. This is the muwahhid says that. But the one who is falling in shirk saying something else. وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّذِي مَاتَ تَحْتَ الْأَرْضِ. The muwahhid says, وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّذِي فَطَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. But the one who worshipped the graves, supplicating the graves, he's saying, I have turned myself to the one who مَاتَ تَحْتَ الْأَرْضِ, who died under the ground. Can you compare? Look. Look, up. He's raising his hands up. Down, they are worshipping the graves, supplicating the graves. I'll say the same word, both. وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّذِي فَطَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Compare it to those who say, وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِي لِلَّذِي مَاتَ تَحْتَ الْأَرْضِ, to the one who died underground. And you say, why the Ummah is weak? It's because of you, not because of Allah. We're not qualified to distribute Tawheed to the other nations because we say what they say. They say, "Oh Mary, help me, intercede for me." And we say, "Oh Rasulullah, help me and intercede for me." Isn't there similarity? There is similarity. How can we invite them to the Tawheed while we are falling in a similar shirk they are falling in? طيب. We've done this. We've finished it. Oh. Okay. Now we have here, yes. Having two laptops at the same time, it's difficult. Abu Layth al-Samarqandi, in the books of Abu Hanifa, it is well known that Abu Hanifa said, وأكره أن يقول قائل أسألك بنبيك أسألك بمعاقد العز من معاقد العز من عرشك. I hate that someone asks Allah by a person, by the honor of someone else. This is what Abu Hanifa said. And also in here, the Abu Layth al-Samarqandi, he is well-known Maturidi Hanafi scholar. He said, وَابْتَغُوا إِلَيْهِ الْوَسِيلَةِ, seek the means to him. It means اطلبوا القربة والفضيلة بالأعمال الصالحة. Seek to get closer by the good deeds, by the deeds. And he's a Hanafi scholar. So who are those whom Allah was saying about قُلِ ادْعُوا الَّذِينَ زَعَمْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ? Ask those whom you are claim apart from him. فَلَا يَمْلِكُونَ كَشْفَ الضُّرِّ عَنْكُمْ وَلَا تَحْوِيلًا. As-Suddi, Qatada, Ibn Abbas, they all said, those whom Allah is talking about are Isa and his mother, Uzair, the angels, the sun and the moon and the stars. Also Ibn Mas'ud said here, Ibn Mas'ud said this ayah was descended regarding people who used to be worshipping a people from the jinn. Those jinn became Muslims. And those human beings who used to worship them, they kept worshipping them, knowing not that those became Muslims already. Okay. Here. Look, what is the best tawassul? Can anyone tell me the best tawassul? Durud after adhan, tawassul. But that's not the best. No one? Asma'illah al-Husna. And there's a clear ayah. وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا. There is no tawassul by a person except Allah. Allah is saying that in the Quran. I'll repeat the ayah. Where's that ayah? In Surah Al-A'raf. The last page. I can't tell you the exact number, but it's the last page. No, that's not the last page, but in Surah Al-A'raf. وَذُرُّ الَّذِينَ يَلْحِدُونَ فِي أَسْمَائِهِ سَيُجْزَوْنَ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ وَمِنْ قَوْمِ مُوسَى. No, it's in the middle. Let's say 60% of the surah. To Allah belong the names and attributes, so ask Allah by His names and attributes, and that's the best tawassul. Like what? Allahumma inni as'aluka bi asma'ika al-husna. See, those when they innovate an innovation, that innovation will let them forget the true way of tawassul. Those people do not remember at all their bid'ah, cause them to forget the best tawassul, and that is to ask Allah by His most beautiful names and attributes. Okay. What do we have still? We still have, you're okay with me until we reach, inshallah, the middle of the night? You're okay with me, aren't you? No? Okay. You want to get back home. And I too want to get back home. What is the legislated kind of tawassul? Asking Allah by His names, and we mentioned that. You take your righteousness as waseela for you. Saying, for example, رَبَّنَا إِنَّنَا آمَنَّا فَاغْفِرْ لَنَا. Oh Allah, we have believed. believe it means something in the heart? No, believe is action also. We can't say someone believed but he has no time to pray. There's no time. Okay, inshallah. In hell you'll be having plenty of time. You have no time here. How come you have no time for something you were created for? How come? So, O Allah, O our Lord, we have believed, so forgive us. They're taking their belief in Allah as Waseela, so that He'll be forgiving them. You know the story of the three people who were stuck in a cave. They were taking a trip, and suddenly they were hiding themselves from heavy raining. They got in a cave and suddenly they were blocked by a cave. Does this happen coincidentally? No, Allah wants to teach us. Generations after generations, they're taking lesson from this event. 3, they were stuck in a cave. What did they say? They said, that was before the Prophet ﷺ, so they did not know about the Prophet, right? But I'm sure they know about Ibrahim, Nuh. So they said, Oh Allah, we ask you by Ibrahim, by Nuh. Did they say that? No. What did they say? You have to know what they say. And by the way, they were not Wahhabis. What did they say? They said to one another, ask Allah by the most sincere actions you did. By sincerity. Sincerity is Waseela. People don't know it. They're taking Shirk as Waseela. Ignorance. So each one of them was relating to Allah something good among the good things they've been doing by the sincere actions. Everyone says something, the rock is still blocking, but it moved away. But it's not yet enough for them to get out. So when the third one sought Waseela to Allah by the most sincere action he did, then the rock was moved so they can get out. They could get out. Asking Allah by the supplication of a good person, yes, that's allowed. But someone may argue and say, then, okay, so which is better? To ask Allah directly or by? We say, no, it's better to ask Allah directly. So why this is allowed? We say, it's not your business. When Allah allows something, you can't say why this was allowed. Your shaitan is only arguing. You don't know that he is moving his legs over your shoulder like this. You don't know that. Umar did it. We do it. Muawiyah did it. We do it. The brothers of Yusuf did it. We do it. But now they're not happy with Umar. You know when they are happy with Umar? When Umar said, نِعْمَةِ الْبِدْعَةُ هَذِهِ. Oh, they love it. They love Umar for this. But they're not really happy with Umar when he said, we used to be seeking Tawassul. That means we're not anymore. Did they leave Tawassul? Did Umar leave Tawassul? He left what was legislated when the Prophet was alive. Okay? Then he turned to something else when the Prophet died. And that is an answer against those who say sometimes to you, no one before Ibn Taymiyyah had banned Tawassul. This is only the bid'ah of Ibn Taymiyyah. None of the people before him. No, we say that's not true. Umar was before him. Umar made it clear. And by the way, where did he make his Tawassul, declaration of Tawassul? Not in the Masjid of Medina. He went to the suburbs of Medina. Not in the Masjid of Medina. So you have problem with this, with Umar. But you don't have problem with, look, if you follow Umar to the extent that you cancel what the Prophet said, every innovation is dalala. They say, but Umar said, you claim that you love the Prophet. I love the Prophet Muhammad. Wallahi, I love him. Okay, cancel Umar for the sake of the Prophet. No, I desire what Umar said. But here they don't desire Umar. No, because he said, we used to be making tawassul. That means not anymore. He did not block all the way of Tawassul. No. You can't say he blocked it because he was asking Allah by Al-Abbas. And Al-Abbas was asking Allah for them. All right. At-Tawassul al-Bid'i. Now the bid'ah kind of Tawassul, asking someone other than Allah. وَيَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ مَا لَا يَضُرُّهُمْ وَلَا يَنفَعُهُمْ وَيَقُولُونَ هَؤُلَاءِ شُفَعَاؤُنَا عِندَ اللَّهِ. They worship apart from Allah, okay, something that does not give them benefit nor remove harm from them, and they say those are shafi' to Allah for us. Shafa'ah is granted for those who commit major sins even, but not to shirk. Allahu Akbar, those people are losers. They're making shirk, they're seeking shafa'ah by the shirk, which will be depriving them from shafa'ah. Because the shafa'ah of Rasulullah is for the muwahhid people, not the people who commit shirk. فلولا نصرهم الذين اتخذوا من دون الله قربانا آلهة بل ضلوا عنهم. Shouldn't they be granted victory by those who they used to be taking apart from Allah as qurban, يعني shafi'? Yeah, let them do it. بل ضلوا عنهم. No, but they had gone astray from them. So not every living one is allowed to be asking supplication from him. How come? Who can explain that? If he's distant from you, you can't. If he's in front of you, yes, go ahead, it's allowed. But they say to you, aren't the shuhada alive for their Lord? Yes, they're alive, so we can ask them, no problem. But wait a minute. We return to the same question. Was the Prophet alive before he died? Yes. Were they asking him from distant? No. What about the angels? The lifters of the throne, the 8 lifters of the throne, what do they say while lifting the throne of Allah? وَيَسْتَغْفِرُونَ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. They seek forgiveness for those who believed on earth. رَبَّنَا وَسِعْتَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ رَحْمَةً وَعِلْمًا. Oh our Lord, you have encompassed everything in knowledge and mercy. فَاغْفِرْ لِلَّذِينَ تَابُوا. And by the way, this is a very good, important thing for you to repent. Because when you repent, there are angels who are asking Allah to grant you forgiveness. Allahu Akbar. How beautiful is that? So, didn't the companions know that the angels are alive and they're seeking forgiveness to the people on earth? Yes. Why didn't they say, Ya Jibreel, I'm in trouble, help me. Jibreel is alive, by the way. Isa, you can ask Isa because he's alive. Okay, but what did Isa say? وَكُنْتُ عَلَيْهِمْ شَهِيدًا مَا دُمْتُ فِيهِمْ. And I was witness over them as long as I was with them. فَلَمَّا تَوَفَّيْتَنِي. When you accomplished me and took me up, كُنْتَ أَنْتَ الرَّقِيبَ عَلَيْهِمْ. You were the witness over them. Did Isa say, even if I'm up, I am Hazir Nazir, I'm prophet? Did he say that? No. He said, I was witness over them when I was with them. But when he took me up to you, then you were the witness over them. Isa is alive and he's saying this. Okay. Oh, this is what about Abu Hanifa? Where is it? Okay. Yeah, this is what about Abu Hanifa. It's written in Abdur al-Mukhtar. Ibn Abdin. Ibn Abdin is a well-known Hanafi scholar. Have you heard of him before? Ibn Abdin? He said, لا ينبغي لأحد أن يدعو الله إلا به. No one is supposed to be asking Allah except by Allah Himself, like His name and attributes. والدعاء المأذون فيه, and the permissible supplication المأمور به, which is even ordered by, هو ما استفيد من قوله تعالى, is what had been benefited from this ayah. وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا. But doesn't the Prophet has beautiful names and attributes? Huh? Did the Prophet say, I have the good names and attributes and ask Allah by my name? Ask me by my beautiful names? That's why I said to you, asking someone by himself is for none but Allah. In another statement, he's saying, وَأَكْرَهُ أَنْ يَقُولَ بِحَقِّ فُلَانٍ. And I hate that someone says, I ask you by that person, or by your prophets and messengers. بِحَقِّ أَنْبِيَائِكَ وَرُسُلِكَ. وَقَالَ Abu Yusuf. Abu Yusuf is the disciple of Abu Hanifa. He said, لَا يُدْعَ اللَّهُ بِغَيْرِهِ. Allah should not be supplicated by someone else. These are the books of the Ahnaf. Right, let's go down here. Here, there's, how much more time I still have? 10 minutes. What about questions and answers? Give 1 hour for questions and answers. Half an hour? Okay. That's fair. That's fair enough. Al-Razi is a very well-known Ash'ari scholar. Look what he said. Before we mention to you Al-Razi, what was the problem of the people of Nuh? There used to be righteous people of Nuh who died, then their people were very sad for their death. They drew their pictures. And they were drawing them in the way they used to be worshipping Allah sincerely. They feel happy and they feel encouragement of worship by seeing these pictures of those righteous people. The next generation came and the devil said to them, the first generation, the devil said, make images for them. It will be encouragement for you to do what they used to be doing, to take them as a good example and model for you. Then 1 generation passed. Next generation came. The devil said to them, your fathers used to be worshipping them, so do it. Traps of the devil. Who said that? Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu. In his commentary at this ayah, وَقَالُوا لَا تَذَرُنَّ آلِهَتَكُمْ. The people of Nuh said, don't leave your gods. وَلَا تَذَرُنَّ وَدًّا وَلَا سُوَاعًا وَلَا يَغُوثَ وَيَعُوقَ وَنَسْرًا. Ibn Abbas said, these are the names of righteous people. When they died, their people started to supplicate them. So one was provoking me by saying, Ya Muhammad. So I said to him, go ahead and say, Ya Yaghuth, Ya Ya'uq, Ya Wud, Ya Suwa', Ya Nasr. He said, no, I don't say that. I said, go ahead, do it. I'll be including you with the people of Nuh. But you don't dare to. Why? If you say, Ya Muhammad, why don't you use these names also of the righteous people? Ibn Abbas said they're righteous people. Go ahead and do it. You know, if he does, it will be clear that he is worshipper of people. That's why Ibn Hajar said, وَقِصَّةُ الصَّالِحِينَ. The issue of the righteous people كانت مبتدأ عبادة قوم نوح لهذه الأصنام, was the beginning point of the worshipping of those people to these idols. But someone may argue and say, well, they used to be worshipping idols. We don't worship idols. We say, yes, the idols belong to who? To the dead. So the idols were the next step. The first step was the dead people. Now, listen to what Al-Razi said. He said, the mushrikeen, I'll translate it without saying it in Arabic. You can see it in Arabic. They made these idols and statues, which is on the same copy of the images of their prophets and good people, righteous people. And they claimed that as long as they kept maintaining their worship to those statues, those people will be making shafa'ah for them. Let me give you this ayah, the last page of Surah Al-A'raf. Because people say, well, they used to be worshipping idols. We don't worship idols. Look what they say, what Allah says. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ عِبَادٌ أَمْثَالُكُمْ فَادْعُوهُمْ فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Those whom you are supplicating apart from Allah, supplicating, they are human beings the like of you. Where's the idols here? Where's the idol? It's very clear. Supplicating. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Those whom you supplicate apart from Allah, they are human beings the like of you. So go ahead and supplicate them and let them answer you. One person said to me, I can supplicate the Prophet. I said, did he answer you? How long have you been supplicating the Prophet? He said, long time. Okay, you grandfathers, since 1,400 years, they used to be calling the Prophet. And the Prophet is very generous, you know. The Prophet used to be shying from not giving anything to someone who says to you, give me. So if you say, oh Prophet, for example, if you say, oh Prophet, I want you to appear to me. Some of them, you know those people who say, I can speak to the Prophet and the Prophet can come. In the 15th of Shaban, you know what they do? They take a chair, for example, they put it like this. Oh Rasulullah, you're welcome. Oh Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah. And they believe. These are, subhanallah, ghurur, deception. So if the Prophet is beside you, next to you, mashallah, you become Sahabi. So I should say when I see you, Raziyallahu anhu, his companion, because that means companionship had not ended yet. What are you talking about? Then why we have next generation called At-Tabi'een? At-Tabi'i is the one who saw the companions but did not see the Prophet. How you can become better than the Tabi'een now you can see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Cannot be. Nothing called companionship will be repeated for anyone after the death of Rasulullah and his companions. Khalas. Anyone who says to you that the Prophet can come in yaqadha, in reality, he is making it absolutely wrong. This is not the religion of Islam. Now look what Ar-Razi said. He said, likewise is this time of us. He's talking about his own time. Many people, they magnify the graves of the righteous people with their thought, based on their thought that if they magnify and take care of their graves, those will be shufa'a, interceders for them at the day of judgment. It's same thing. Okay. Taftazani is another Ash'ari scholar. He said, the shirk of the mushrik people, it occurred when some of the righteous people died, and he used to be having a very high status with his Lord. They took an image like his on his likeness, and they take him as Shafi'a. Wallahi, there's a man who used to be following Naqshbandi tariqat, and he left them. He said, I used to be having on the wall big image for my shaykh, and wallahi, I used not giving him my back. So when I stand, for example, and I ask him, then if I want to leave, I go like this. No. French cars like this. And they go to the back. They go back with their face to the picture. He said to me, wallahi, we used not to turn our back to them, to the picture. And you're telling me that you're not worshipping idols? He said, He said, they magnified their graves and they took him as Shafi' and Waseela to Allah. Taftazani is Ash'ari and he's talking about the shirk of the mushrikeen before. Doesn't it happening nowadays? Yes. Sharh al-Maqasid li-Taftazani, 4th volume, page 41. Okay, I'm not gonna make it longer to you. I feel pity. I feel pity for you because I have taken much of your time. Okay. Oh, I mentioned that. The Prophet ﷺ was asked, "Ayyu dhanbi a'zam?" What is the greatest kind of sin? He said, "An taj'ala lillahi niddan wa huwa khalaqak." That you take someone as equal with Allah while He created you. I have mentioned this ayah to you. At-Tabari was commenting on this ayah saying the Arabs used to be believing in the oneness of Allah. Tabari, the best commentator ever. He said that the Arabs used to be believing that Allah is one, but they used to be seeking partners with Him in their worship. They used to believe that Allah is one. What is the evidence from the Quran? وَلَئِن سَأَلْتَهُم مَّنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ. If you ever ask them, who created the heaven and the earth, they will be saying, it's Allah. And now I'm in trouble. The man came. I have a lot of things to mention to you. Inshallah, the next, I would love to. Here I'm making some good points. You give me 1 minute, inshallah. I'll try to, because it is a good chance for you to learn. Supplicating other than Allah is a matter of worship. So how did you make that matter of worship waseela? That's the point. Okay. How the Sahaba left Tawassul, but you say that you can ask the dead. The Sahaba left the Tawassul, that means asking Allah by the Prophet. You did something worse than that by asking the dead. The companions did not ask the Prophet. Umar did not ask the Prophet, but he left asking Allah by the Prophet. So how did it become that you're asking the dead and you say this is waseela? Leaving the waseela is not only because of death, but because of the absence. I was asking a Christian soldier, do you ask Mary? He said, yes. I said, do you believe that she can hear you? He said, yes. I said, what if billions of people ask her at the same time? Does she know that? He said, I think so. I said, do you believe in God? He said, yes. I said, do you believe that billions of people can ask him at the same time while he can hear them? He said, yes, absolutely. I said, what did you say about Mary? Possibly, maybe. You're not sure, but about Allah you're sure that He can hear all at the same time. Abu Amir is a great Sahabi. He got injured and he was certain that death is close to him. Khalas. Immediately he sent Abu Musa al-Ash'ari to the Prophet ﷺ, and he sent a message to him. You know what? He said to him in the message, "O Rasulullah, ask Allah to forgive me." Now wait a minute. If the Prophet can hear from far, this is in Sahih Muslim. If the Prophet can hear from far, why this man who's about to die need to send someone which take days to reach there? Why didn't he say, "O Rasulullah, ask Allah for me from far"? He didn't. Saying, "Oh Allah, I ask you by Prophet," do you know that this is not supplication, but this is an oath? Yameen. This is not. Look, either it is legislated tawassul, or it will turn to be what? Yameen, oath. People do not know that making oath to Allah. Now here there are some doubts, but I cannot make them, inshallah, I cannot give an answer to them. One of them is, وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ إِذْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ, جَاءُوكَ فَاسْتَغْفَرُوا اللَّهِ. But the ayah doesn't say, وَاسْتَغْفَرُوا الرَّسُولِ. The ayah doesn't say, and they seek forgiveness from Rasul. No. فَاسْتَغْفَرُوا اللَّهِ. So the ayah has nothing to do with you. It's not evidence for you. It's against you. We still have 1 minute? No.
1 minute was a long time ago.
Wallahi? Yeah. I didn't feel it. طيب, خلاص. We stop here, inshallah. We can listen to your questions. Barakallah feekum.